welcome back to Sosnovka. While you were away, I don't know why I can't talk. While you were away, I have logged the crap out of the map and did about 250 to 200 and maybe even $300,000 worth of lumber during the afternoon. So we're going to kind of go over what we did. First of all, obviously, I did buy this Kirovitz K700 model. I also bought that service trailer, which is fairly cheap. I think it's like $5,000. But that way I can refill my seeder and fertilizer while I'm in the field. That is a big help here. So the Kirovitz did help me while I was logging. Because on top of the Kirovitz, I also bought, this. We've got the Niva harvester. I'm planning on making these small fields here that were grain. They will be grain once again. Bonk. And then, so the two fields that are here by the farm, fields 19 and 14, are going to remain wheat. I also bought field number 28. That's where these guys are right now. Oops, sorry. And this is going to end up being my sweet beet field, or my sugar beet field. So 28 is going to be sugar beets. 19 and 14, was it 14? Yeah, 19 and 14 right now are going to just be wheat. So I have the Niva, so I can harvest that. The other thing that I bought an IT runner. But that only has the logging attachment because the grain trailer is $40,000. Oops, that's a little too much. And since I already have the two grain trailers in my garage, I really didn't need to duplicate it. But I have been using the IT runner for logging, and I've also been using the Kirovitz to pull the IT runner around. The IT runner is a little bit too large for this little tractor to pull. It can do it, but it's a very big trailer. So I am using the Kirovitz as the main user. We will buy the grain trailer eventually. Probably also going to buy the larger Proxima. I may do some more logging. We'll see. But now that we have these three fields, I'm confident that we can make some money. I might even stick with just sugar beets on all three fields for a while till we get a lot of surplus built up. Money-wise, because the wheat doesn't yield as much, and we don't really need wheat as of yet. When we start having cows, we're going to need it for silage. But I suppose I could have not bought the Niva harvester, but I really wanted to be able to do some wheat if I needed to. Oh, and that reminds me. Okay, so along with the Niva. How is that dirty already? I haven't even run this thing. Huh. I also purchased the Optima, or the other seeder that this guy, the Accord. So we have an Optima that's out there in the field right now. We have this Accord wheat seeder, the one you start with. I bought mine back. So we have this guy back in our garage again. So we've purchased some pretty major equipment, and I feel like we're moving forward, so I can do wheat if necessary. We'll see. We'll see how many sugar beets I get, and it's going to be a chore harvesting all these sugar beets, so it might be fun just to have one field or two fields of wheat. I don't know what it is about this fertilizer, but it just stops after each pass. Like, it's kind of annoying. Let's see if that was right. Nope. Again. There we go. The Kirovitz is probably going to get lost pretty soon. Yeah, he is, because he's getting to the point where the field is no longer... when it gets that steep of a curve, he'll think he's done, even though he's not. So I'll have to kind of hold his hand here. So this seeder's been working out great. It really does a nice job. Now the reason why I'm pulling it with the Kirovitz and not the Proxima, I don't know if you remember when I did it with the Proxima, I was running at about 13 kilometers an hour or less. So apparently, you really need that extra horsepower to pull this. Now I have a feeling the Fortuna, or the Forterra, the largest of the, oh my gosh, my brain. I'm really busy, guys, with work. It's just been crazy, and so I'm kind of slap happy. And the other Zetor tractor, the largest one, the Forterra, yeah, is probably has enough horsepower to pull that seeder full gate. But you know what, the Kirovitz is a lot cheaper. Like, obviously, a quarter of the price or less. Probably like a tenth of the price at $17,000. It's like an eighth of the price. So we're gonna stick with the Kirovitz for now. We will eventually buy a Forterra because this guy and the Kirovitz can go and be our forestry equipment, and then the Forterra, and I'll probably buy the Major 80, and use the Major for the backup tractor for doing this kind of stuff. So pulling the fertilizer around, pulling the refiller wagon, kind of being the little helper. So I found a tractor that I want. It's a very small tractor. It's made by Mahindra. It's called, wait a minute, what is it called? The 25 XL, I think is what it's called, or 25 Emax 25. It has a cabin and everything. It's a 25 horsepower tractor. It's got lifting arms up front with a bucket that can carry 900 pounds, and then it's got you can buy it with with arms on the back that will it's a backhoe. So it's pretty cool. And then it has, you can buy it with a full cabin or without the full cabin. I think the cabin costs a lot more, but I think the non-cabin version's only like $11,000. And then the mower goes underneath it, but it's got power takeoffs on the front and back. And it can run, all kinds of different little implements. I want one of those. I want it with a snowplow or a snowblower on the front. And I can just blow out my driveway, and then I can go around to all my neighbors and say, hey, we can, have your driveways plowed by, 7 o'clock in the morning, or, like $50 a plow or whatever, or cheaper, whatever the going rate is, and make a little winter business out of it. Now, what did this guy just do? Why did he miss that section of field? That was weird. I'll have to go back and fix that. He's going to do it again. Oop. Dang it. Crapsicles. That's weird. Did it again. I didn't overlap enough. My bad. Have to go back and fix that. So the Kirovitz works fine for this duty. It's a little large, but honestly, if you look at the size of the seeder in real life, from what I see online, like when I watch people doing these demonstrations and stuff, a lot of times they're using really big tractors and kind of small seeders. And when they're using the really huge seeders, they have like the biggest tractors. So the 200 and some odd horsepower kind of matches the seeder, even though the requirements for the seeder are only like 75. I think it's underclassed. I think you actually need more than that in IRL in real life. That should be it. So ugly inside. It is a pretty cool tractor, though. It's been great for the logging stuff. It has the weight you need to get the heavy stuff pulled. Now I did have a bit of a problem because that the trailer for the IT runner is open in the back, and as I was trailering logs, and I had a really full load. Like the one load that I had was a $40,000 load. Now when you guys have been watching, I've been delivering like $10,000 to $20,000 load. So I had a really, really full trailer. And I ran into an issue where the hang on, can't drive and talk. Even when when I was driving slowly and carefully, the logs just started sliding off the back of the truck. They kept inching their way off the back, and I'd have to grab this tractor, the Proxima, with the shovel on the back and come up and push the logs back onto the trailer, and then I'd drive a little further and then push the logs back on. They kept wiggling around. There were just too many logs in the trailer, so that is an issue with the IT runner. Probably with any open back trailer. It's probably why most of the logging trailers have closed backs in the game, because that's been an issue probably for everybody trying to mod these. So and I did not know this, but I thought Mahindra was Indian, and I think the company is owned by an Indian company, but the tractors are manufactured both in Korea, or maybe North Korea, and Japan. So there's Japanese Mahindras, and then there are Mahindras that are manufactured in Korea, like along with what's the name of that company? Like Hyundai. Wherever Hyundai is manufactured is where the Mahindras are. Now it's not Hyundai that makes them, but it's kind of cool. I thought it was kind of, I don't know, useless trivia, but I thought it was kind of neat information. Like, wow, this company's actually, you know, not Indian. The products are actually made in Japan and Korea. So I thought that was a pretty cool addition. But Mahindra is that it's an Indian word, and it is an Indian company. But I thought that was interesting. And the other thing I thought that was interesting is, even though they're small, like lawn, a little bit larger than lawn tractors, but they're like lawn tractor size, or a little larger, like big lawn tractor size, is that they, wait, what was I saying? It's been a rough night, man. My talking points are all withering. They're the only ones that I've seen that are that size, that are like full feature tractors. And they're, oh, that's right, they're diesel powered. I thought that was really cool. So they're actually 25 horsepower diesel engines. When they start them up, they're like, you know, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. That little diesel sound. I was like, man, I want that. I could mow my lawn. I could get a yard vac. Go around to all the neighbors' houses. Hey, we'll clean up your leaves. How much? $5,000? No? Okay. Dang it. Dang it. Why does this always happen to me? All right. So I tried to do a review or intro to the Farm Expert 2016, and then I just got my kids started making lots of noise, and then I got too tired, and I'm realizing as I do it, it's going to take me like hours to go through it. I'm still going to do it. I promise you guys I will. And I'm going to do it soon, before the holidays, because I know they'll probably go on sale again. And, you know, for $9, it's definitely a worthwhile buy. For $20, no. But it is funny. Just even playing around with it again, I've kind of taken a break from it because I went away, and then I've been working real hard, and then trying to do videos for Sosnovka, because as soon as I came back, the gold came out, so I kind of dropped the Farming Expert, but I forgot. It's a really good game. It has some really neat stuff in it that the Farming Simulator is just missing. It's a shame that it's such a wreck, because it's... And I don't want to put it like that, because it's a fully functional game. It's got a lot of things about it that you're like, oh, why did they... The graphics are... You'll see. If you haven't seen the game, you'll see when you see it on my channel. But it's got a lot of work that it needs. But it still it does some things just right. And I don't know. I hope that, you know, they continue to work on it and make it better and better, and the developers stick with it, because it has the potential of eclipsing the Farm Simulator. if they can just get the graphics right and get some licensing. I think the only license they have from a tractor manufacturer is, well, at least from what I've seen so far, is Linder, the GeoTrack. They don't have any other tractor sponsorships, so everything else is generic in the game, and that's. But then again, somebody was saying, I read on a forum somewhere, and I don't know. There's not a lot of information about the game, so you kind of just haphazardly play it and then go, oh crap, I shouldn't have bought that, or it's kind of like this game actually, but even worse if you can imagine. So, you know, when I first started playing Farm Simulator, I was like, okay, what do I do now? It was like really confusing, and there wasn't any information out there on it. And but then as, you know, time went on, I started watching people's videos, and kind of like what you guys are doing, I started making my own tutorial videos, hoping that I could give somebody an English speaking, you know, interpretation of what to do with the game, because it's kind of confusing when you don't have anybody telling you how to do things. Like the whole Chrome thing and the silage thing, that's my most watched video of all the videos I've ever made. I have like every month that's my top watched video. It's pretty amazing. So I think that there's, you know, there was definitely a disparity of information out there for the farming simulator. Is disparity right? Yeah, it's the right word. There's a lack of information, and I've tried to make some changes there, and there's definitely other guys out there who have been done a good job. You know, Gunning Gamers is one of them, and he got to get, oh, I was so jealous. He got the Sci-Tech steering wheel, gas pedals, and control console for free. They sent it to him to do a review. I'm like, man, it's because the guy's got 46,000 subscribers. Like, bummer, dude. I'd love to have one of those to do a review. And then keep it and play with it forever. So anyway, jealousy set aside, there are guys out there that are doing a good job getting information about this game out there, how to do the different things, and hopefully, you know, being a helpful resource to people. And that's what I kind of want to aim for in this too. But with Farming Experts, the same deal. You get in there and it's like, what do I do? And you look online and it's way worse than the Farming Simulator. There's no information anywhere. Anyway, I saw a blurb. I saw a blurb out there on one of the forums talking about how you can, after a couple of years, or after your first 2 or 3 seasons as a farmer, more equipment becomes available to you than the stuff that you start with, which they give you a lot of equipment, but there's only like 10 or 15 tractors to pick from, and they're all like pretty low horsepower. Like they range from 180 to or 150 to 300. That's the range, and there's nothing over that. And I'm looking at some of these. I mean, they have seeders in that game that are like way larger than the seeders and stuff that are in this game. They have giant seeders, and I'm like, how do you stuff a 75-foot seeder into a game where there's only a 300 horsepower tractor? How's that supposed to pull it? So somebody was saying, as you go through the seasons, it actually unlocks more equipment. And I was like, I wonder if that means that, I mean, it might not, but I wonder if that means that I'll be able to get a different, oh, thanks driving, Artie. Get different tractors and equipment in that game. So that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But I really like it. It's a really good game. It's just the graphics are bad and the handling is bad. So like, it has major gravity issues where like when you're sitting on a field that is not perfectly level, your tractor, every time you stop moving, your tractor will slide. And there's tractors in this game that do that too. Some of the mod tractors slide around. And of course, you know, the harvesters, when you're going downhill, if the harvester is unloading into a wagon, the harvester starts to slide down the hill. Well, that's a huge problem in the Farming Expert. As you load trailers, the harvester, the trailer, the tractor, everything starts to slide. So they need to fix that. That's something that they're really working on, I know, because people are complaining like crazy. Like, you need to fix this sliding issue. It's got terrible compatibility with Xbox joystick and all the other joysticks that are out there. You can't change any of the button functions or anything like that. It's just bad. So it needs a lot of work. But the potential is huge. The fact that there's a full year calendar, the fact that, you know, your animals will die if you don't feed them, the fact that the animals actually reproduce, it's all these things, like I said before, that the Farming Simulator never was. So one can only hope that they will learn from this game, or that this game will learn from them, or vice versa, or maybe one of them will buy out the other. And I'd imagine, you know, the Giants has the larger following, so they'd probably be the ones to approach the guys that made Farming Expert and say, hey, we'd like to buy this from you and make it better. Dirt handling, like I said before, that's one of the best things in Farm Expert. There's way more in-depth field preparation and care, and it actually does matter when you harvest and when you fertilize and stuff like that. Like, you can't fertilize before, you have to fertilize during, but then eventually when you start getting manure, you'll put the manure down first. Just like in real life, you put the manure down first in the fall usually, and then the next year you plow it under, and then it's ready the next year. Let's see, refill this. The reason why I left the weight back at the shop is because I'm going to, and this sucks because this is going to be a total waste. Maybe I won't even, yeah, you know what? Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. I'm not going to waste 14 meters of fertilizer just to fertilize, 3 meters of soil. So here's why I left the weight back at the shop, because I'm going to use this on the front and then pull the trailer in behind. There we go. Alright, so let's head back to the main. Whoops. Gosh, what happened? Must have pressed the wrong button combination. Heading back to the main farm with our dirty little Zeta. Zeta Dita. Goings going. Well, it's funny, I don't know how this tractor got all dirty, because I haven't... One of the things that I've noticed about this game, some of the, different equipment gets dirty at different rates, but these Z-Tor tractors seem to get dirty really fast. Like, I'd cleaned this tractor and then drove it out to the field, fertilized the one field, and this thing's already, like, all covered in dirt. You notice the fertilizer is totally clean. How did that happen? Alright, so I'm starting to get my little system together here. We'll take a little tour of the farm here before we sign off for the night, because at this point, we're ready to fast forward to tomorrow. I'll put that right here. Boop. So we'll be running this tomorrow. Now, I wish I had the money to get the larger of this, the Forterra, but I don't. So I have all my field implements here. And I have the harvester for the sweep eats parked here. And then across the street, we have all the trailering equipment. So I've got my two Farmall or Farm Tech, those guys, my grain trailers. This is the wood trailer over here with the IT runner. Probably won't have to use that too much more. I might do it again in a couple days, so that I can get enough money together to buy the Forterra and maybe a Major, because it'd be nice to have those. But I don't need them. I think we have everything that we need to operate the farm at this point and do all the different kinds of crops that we can do. So we're going to pull in here. This is where we store the tractors. Those tractors can sit over the pit. This one cannot, because it falls in. But once again, we also bought the Neva. For those of you that didn't see my gold DLC review, This came as a pre-order special when I pre-ordered anyway, and then shortly after I pre-ordered, I found out that that the Steam users were getting this, and I was kind of torqued because I was like, well, wait a minute. I pre-ordered this and I paid $5 more because I bought it through the Giants website. I want one of those, and it turns out when I was reading somewhere in German, I found out that that everybody gets it. So then I was happy again that I got my little Neva. My sweet little Neva. For those of you who have watched my channel for a long time, if you go back to my Eastern Bloc videos, I have a Neva harvester, a really beat down one, in the mod package that I used. And it's basically this exact one. It had more animations on the side. Like this, where this is all covered up here, this stuff was all open, and you could see all the gears moving and stuff. And it had an opening hatch on top of the door. So it had a little more animation to it, but it wasn't as nice of a model, I guess. It was kind of just... It didn't get dirty. It didn't have any like specialty things to it, but it was still a cool model. So, all right. So we're going to call... I know this was kind of a short episode, but I figured I wanted to get you guys in and seeing what I've been doing because, things have changed since I talked to you in episode 3. So this is episode 4, and I figured I wanted to kind of update you and show you the equipment that I've purchased for the farm and what's going on with the new field and what we've done so far. So we've come a long way in one day. Like I said, I will probably be doing some more logging tomorrow or the day after. I'm kind of burnt out on logging now. I've logged and logged and logged, but it's a good fast way to make money. We could also, once we do wheat, well, no, I guess we really can't. I found out that you can actually use, somebody said that you can use wrap bales, like the silage bales, and sell them at the biogas plant. And if that's true, we might be able to get into silage pretty quick and not have to buy like the forage harvester yet. That'd be another way for us to make money. So we'll see. But for right now, we have everything we need to do farming. We have several fields now instead of just the 2 small fields. I've also got a large field, and that will help our economy hopefully pretty quickly grow. But on hard, it does take a while. So going forward, we're going to play it the old-fashioned way, and we're just going to do farming like I promised, because I know I said I wasn't going to do any logging, and then I went around and did a whole bunch of logging, so I apologize. But going forward, we're going to have a regular farm now, so I will probably still do some logging, but we're going to really back off. So, anyway. All right, guys, I will see you on the fields. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great night.